Tartarian hunters, or good afternoon, technically, depending on what part of Australia you're in. Hello, Campbell. It's actually afternoon.
Is it? We don't know what's going on, guys, but yes, we think it's afternoon. Hello and welcome.
We thought we would try something and like something unique now, which Campbell and I really want to get our focus back on Tartaria. We've been on a lot of epic, amazing dialogues of the last couple of weeks, triggered by the Crystal City and Australia. But we do feel like we need to keep like bringing it back to sort of the main topic at hand. But apart from that, it's a good like 30 minutes to just catch up with you guys, just personally with us and check in with everyone. So how you going, Campbell? What's happening?
I'm good. I think I'm feeling like most people. It's last week was a doozy, wasn't it? That was
Yeah,
a lot going on.
yeah.
So we're all a bit sort of tired and a bit beaten up, I think. But we got to keep marching forward. And like Kel said, we've been, apart from on the Crystal City, we've been doing sort of 2.5, 3 hour podcasts. So we want to, make some content that's also, not as long, so that people, without so much time, can actually watch it. So we haven't got anything planned. So I do have some picks. What do you want to talk about, Kel?
Well, I do actually, there's two sides to the Tartarian journey. I mean, I think one is obviously us deep diving into these fantastic topics of history. And to me, this is the number one black box programming buster of all time. And when you get your head around that history is all a lie and how extravagant and elaborate the lie is, then every other thing that is in your way in this lifetime as far as programming goes just drops away. It can't hold itself at all. So that's one side, but the other side is us, the human beings behind these discussions and the audience and just the humanity side of things. And like right now, I know that what we're feeling like is very much what you guys are feeling like, which is that time has sped the fuck up. And like we have no friggin' time. And it's like breakfast comes and then like it feels to me like 4 hours later it's dinner. And there's like a solid 6 hours missing from my day. And, right now I think like that to me has triggered a chain of discussion in my own brain about what is time, Campbell, because we're really feeling it. And I've noticed that that my community that is unjabbed and in this awakening journey, everyone's experiencing the same stuff. Time speeding up. It's not enough time. Their energy is being scattered. Their brain feels scattered, And then my friends and community who haven't had the jab and aren't on the awakening journey, their time is slowed down. Like they have more time than ever. Like they're all acting like they're on holiday because, they've been in lockdown and, they've just taken the jab and they've got no conflict going on. There's nothing they're learning. There's no idea that we're actually in the middle of a fucking war. Like, and so their time's just like, they haven't got enough things to fill it with. And I'm watching this paradigm and then I'm thinking, okay, well, A, let's just say fuck time. But B, let's just understand that time is happening within our brains. Time is literally within, time is the greatest illusion, the greatest enslaver that has ever been. Time and space, right, guys? We know this. Time and space is absolutely the greatest illusion. So, Campbell, if time's the biggest illusion and we're in the process of getting ourselves free of this program, that as part of this transitional process to the new earth or the awakening journey or whatever you want to call it, literally our perception of reality is speeding up. And it feels to me like in that speeding up process, we're actually getting closer to the end of time as the illusion program, so we can't help it, that we can't do anything about it. For us, time is gone speedy. And in 2015, I had this experience where all of my cells, I was on the farm at the time, and just out of nowhere, all of my cells would speed the fuck up, like really hardcore. And I put my hand there thinking I'd be shaking, right? But I wasn't moving. It was all happening internally. And I got actually a bit stressed about it because I didn't know what was happening. And then it started affecting my heart. And I'd like have to like stop and rest for it to, and it would go on, it went on for like 6 months. Eventually I went to a crystal bowl one-on-one session and said to my guide, whatever word you want to use that, I've heard his voice 3 times. He 3 voices 3 times in this lifetime. I said, what the fuck is this? Like, what's going on to me? Am I actually in some sort of physical like health issue right now? Anyway, I fell asleep in the meditation and got woken up to him screaming in my ear, it's the quickening. That's what it said to me. It's the quickening. And I had no reference for that. I didn't know what that was. I jumped out of my sleep onto my bum, shocked myself awake. The person doing the bowls freaked out because she didn't know what I had just heard, was watching, and she freaked out because she actually saw my bands being reversed. And then these like strikes of light coming around my bands, which to her looked like a storm. And a voice in her head when she started to panic because she'd never seen this before said, don't worry, this is just for Kelly's, specifically for Kelly's, it's not for you, don't worry about it. And that was the first concept I heard about the quickening. But fuck me, man. I now think we are in the quickening and our cells or our perception of time has been altered.
Yeah, well, I mean, we are in the
What
quickening.
are your thoughts?
Yeah, for sure. And time, everyone's talking about time. It's just like so many things, you know, in the last, well, especially this year, you know, topics are just popping up and everyone's on them at once. It's bizarre, but like you said, it's perception. You know, because the apple juice drinkers, they're not having this. So we're getting so much information coming at us, and it's not just physical information. It's not just, you know, reading and watching videos. It's spiritual, or whatever you want to call it, ethereal information. We're getting, because we're getting upgraded, and so we're getting all this stuff coming in, and so time seems like it's going faster. And with the quickening, I think what it does, I think that we're raising vibration, and it's going to hit a point where we hit the next band, if you know what I mean. You know how, you know, musical frequencies, you have
absolutely.
And once we do that, then it'll smooth out, because then because at the moment we're in physical bodies that are from a certain vibration, but we've got a soul or a spirit inside us, which is a different vibration. So we've got this thing going on. And so I think it's, like you said, it's going to get quicker and crazier until it just sort of goes boom, and then we'll just smooth out. But the other thing is,
it takes a lot.
Maybe we should play with it, right? Let's see, you know, if it's just an illusion, if we speed it up and slow it down ourselves, will that help break the illusion?
Well, I definitely think it's worth chewing on as a topic, because if we relate time and our feeling that we're actually like running out of time all the time, that's a feeling I get. If that's the word, running out of time. So even though time is speeding up, it feels like I'm running out of it because it's speeding up. And literally, I feel like we're about to crack the illusion of time. That is big part of moving through this frequency onto the new radio band, the new radio station of the new earth. And it's really and if we parallel that to the work with Tartaria, which, you know, it's all about time, history, dates, this illusion that there was a past, basically. So we stand here really deep diving on the illusion of a past, and yet the other side of ourselves holds the idea that time doesn't exist and there's only now. And then the other side of ourselves is like worried about our future right now. So we've got 3 really contradictory feelings going on. I think more than any other time, if you're in Australia right now, you are really concerned about, you know, your future, and really having to think about where you want to go, where you're going to take safety, where you're going to meet your community, you know, basically getting out of these city hubs. I think all of us really have to really strongly and powerfully consider right now leaving the cities and moving back into the land, whatever that looks like for one's personal journey. But that's a big thing. That's like packing up, selling, buying, relocating. That's like a big body of work. And then here we are with Tartaria, which is a massive body of work, which is responsible for our deprogramming almost, and so important to our process through this journey as well. And then right in the middle, here we are contemplating that time doesn't exist. It's all happening in our brains, and somehow we're getting an update or a download or something there that's actually triggered the neuro pathways in our brain synapses to vibrate quicker. Therefore, our thoughts are moving quicker, and it's really easy to feel very scattered. I feel very scattered right now.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I just had a picture of how to explain it, but yeah, like you said, we're working faster. We can process more information, but that's in here, which is really out there. But what we see physically is it's almost slowing. It has slowed down, hasn't it? I mean, look, they've shut everything down. There's everything stopped. So the outside is definitely slowing down, right? And then we're speeding up.
Yes,
so it's definitely this thing. I was talking to Howdy, and we were talking about time, and we come up with the concept that, you know, time's an illusion, right? What happens if you focus on the past? Right? If we go back and focus like on our past as individuals, because we don't do that a lot, because the theory is if you change the past, then instantly everything from that point to the present has to change, right?
Yep.
So it's literally, you can change your reality instantly by changing the past. So are we even looking at time?
There's our medallion there.
Are we looking at time backwards? Is that one?
Yeah, I mean, that's quantum holographic healing, isn't it? That's like going back into the quantum, unraveling it. There's an amazing Indigenous group here called Quantum Kinetics. And that's what they do. They go back into your past, way back, and back into your ancestors, and uncoil the trauma, and all, you know, timelines forward get corrected. So yeah, I mean, that's definitely really changed. I mean, the reason I wanted to talk about it is because I feel like we are all going to go through it. We're all going through it. Our whole audience, wherever you are in the world, is going through this. And it's really hard to feel grounded and stable when you're literally being asked to uproot yourself from programming, from the old earth, from friends and family, from this like cruisy life out there that just feels so fake and an illusion, and uprooting yourself through, you know, like your own personal circumstances and where you need to live right now. It's really, you know, it's so, and look, you know, I'm a fucking giant tree trunk. Like that, I am this solid human being who's been like solidified and grounded, and I am finding it hard going. And then, you know, we've all got to somehow, with all of that, make an income, which is like another whole layer of like shit fighting out there when we don't even like want to relate to the 3D world, and like making an income in the 5D world. Those economies are so brand new, they haven't even really presented themselves.
I mean, yeah, it's hard, it's difficult. And, you know, a lot of people, you know, with family and friends and, you know, grandchildren who are, you know, taking things into their body. I mean, it's a hard time, but I think that, you know, we've got to understand there's a bigger picture too. And, you know, freedom, if we want freedom, then that means we have to give everyone freedom. And no matter if we agree with their choices or not, you know, that's the deal, I think, right? You know, you've got to treat others as you wish to be treated. So, you know, this whole, you know we've got to move out, right? We've got to leave the cities. It's no longer for us. And it was really interesting, all the words you were using, like uprooted, and we need to ground ourselves, and it's all about nature. And I think if we get out into nature too, then we will be able to slow time down a bit. It won't be so hectic. You know, I think we'll sort of, you know, natural energies will help us, you know, sort things out easier. There just is more space out, you know, there's more space, right? So I think it's a good idea for that
real
as well.
Space.
Yeah, yes, real space.
Space your eyes can see. Like vast horizons.
Exactly.
And it's really interesting because on this 3D plane, like we're operating at a point where you know, like everything's unfolding online, you know, like we're in front of this damn computer. And, you know, before this sort of lockdown process, you know, if you were working, you would go somewhere and you would communicate with your other teammates, and you would be working, and that the time of talking and relating and understanding and sharing ideas, that was all important to rest. That was all important to have that break in time and in your day. And now we're basically here in front of this computer by ourselves, and it's so quick. You're on a Zoom link, and then you're on another one, you're on another one. It really, our lifestyle right now. And I truly think that being in the city while we're transitioning and our bands are speeding up or reversing or whatever the hell they're doing, like, it's not cohesive. Like, we've been bombarded by so much electronical interference and so many frequencies raining down on us, shit we don't even know or understand. And it's not cohesive or conducive to this transition. I'm so certain that every single one of our audience members needs to be in touch with and relocated into nature over the next couple of months. And it's a big ask. It's a big ask to add that to already the stresses.
It is. And we've started, I'm sure lots of other people have too. Obviously we've started groups talking about this. So, if you're out there, guys, there's a Telegram group, get on that and just ask who's from your area and start forming groups. And just, the biggest thing's land, really. Because I've been looking in, the setting it up isn't that, sorry, I've got a hair on my face, isn't that expensive. There's actually quite a few things you can get pretty cheaply, like sewage systems for like $1,200 and stuff. I was even just looking at bell tents.
I just fucking dig a hole in
dig a hole. Yeah, you can buy a
$5.
shovel for $5. So
I live like that for ages.
Yeah, but this is the thing, it's going to be different. So we can see it as, scary or whatever, or we can see it as an adventure, right? As a quest and going forward and building the new earth and doing all this stuff. But we do need to do it properly too. This is the thing, we've got to, really start listening to intuition and looking at the signs, because we don't want to be out sitting in the mud. We want to be able to build stuff. And like you said, we still need to, Babylon's got all the materials at the moment, so we still need to trade with them for a while. But it's interesting, like this, when you said the no one's talking, someone sent me one of the new Facebook ads for that, what's it called? Bloody at Meta, Facebook Meta. Have you seen this?
Don't know. No, not yet.
Oh my God. It's a virtual world that you build. And you invite your friends and you all go and put goggles on and go and sit and talk virtually.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So it's like we're doing now, but they're taking it to the next level, right? And then the video he sent me was a job interview. Like, oh, this is what a job interview will be like in the future. You just put your goggles on and you go in. And so, I mean, where did you get out of the cities? Because these people are going to end up not even leaving their houses or their little cubes.
Yep.
And I wonder if, are they going to turn into the power plants of the future? Are they just going to like metamorphosize into big machines? Because no one will be leaving anywhere. They'll all be sitting there and they'll literally become components of a machine. Is that what?
And they'll start. They'll actively. Yep.
It's like
they'll actively start taking microchips and getting things in their eyes, and they will come out with biologically wired technology that's really only probably one day away, really. And and they're going to introduce it, and people are going to like connect into it, and it will become the standard operation modality for companies and businesses and workers, and it will just be integrated. Yep.
And then as soon as someone,
from that perspective,
it'll be intravenous food. Here's your chair that's really a toilet, and you're done. You never move, right? You just sit there with your goggles on.
Oh my God, which is essentially how they've used us. That they have used us as a battery source all this time. This is just us willingly plugging into that matrix. There was a movie called Ready Player One. Have you seen that? Ready Player One. Yeah. And they live in this world. They live in this. I mean, it's fantastical, and I really recommend everyone watch it. It's a fun movie. But what they demonstrate is their whole real earth has become wired and fired to the internet and virtual realms, and their real world, where they put all their energy and time, is in this fantastic virtual realm, but their actual world, the real world, is a squalor and a dump. And it's I think that's a very indicative way of where this, the new smart cities and the new world, technologically wired world, is rolling towards. But we as the guardians of the new earth must be back in nature, away from this process. It's very draining. And honestly, guys, I have to say, I get hundreds of emails and Facebook messages and Telegram messages and, you know, all this. And that's just like for Tartaria, that doesn't include my actual job. And it's just like, you can't do it. I can't do it. I can't keep up. I just haven't got the mental capacity to, if I did it, if I really attended to everything that was coming up in my day, I would be basically working 23 hours a day at the moment. That's how it would feel, you know, which is so out of balance and so out of line. And you know what, Campbell, we both had a session with Bobby today, which was really, really fun. And do you know what I took out of that? Like that we all, majority of us, carry an energetic that says we haven't done enough. We carry this frequency that says no matter what we've done, it's not enough. We haven't, because all of our souls are like, you know, why haven't we raised an army yet? Why haven't we slain the mega beast yet? Why haven't we fixed this world? You know, why haven't we? And we carry this energetic in this lifetime that everything we're doing, it's not enough. We haven't done enough videos. We haven't done enough podcasts. We haven't done enough meetings. We haven't done enough charity. We haven't made enough money. We haven't done enough on our businesses. We haven't done enough with our families. We haven't spent enough time with our loved ones. Like, we are in this state of lack on that topic. And it seems to be characteristic of everyone in our community.
Not me.
Do you relate? Are you the same?
Yeah, I'm so the same. It's and yeah, it's just something that's in there. It's and I do think I've started thinking about it more recently, just that, you know, we do need to slow down. It's not healthy for the physical body to keep going and going and going, and, you know, you run down. But I mean, this is the thing, it's, you know, we're in this time, right? This is what my spirit keeps yelling, like, we're not going to be here again, you know. And I think we all feel that we just got to get to that point, and we're almost there. And until we get there, it's like, so I don't know, right? It's
I know,
you know, wiser people than me would say that we need to slow down and we need to, you know, focus more. And I would probably say this too, you know, and be more intentional and spend that time, you know, myself included, right? Instead of making 3 videos, maybe take a week and slowly make one that is got, you know, is better, or, you know, more focused or something. But yeah, I mean, this is the thing. I think we're all doing enough, but like it's like I said, we're not seeing the results yet. I mean, they are there. Like, we can see it's a lot different to a year ago, but we're still not there. It's still not.
I know. And you know what? Like, the reason you want to slow down to make a better, like a longer production on one of your videos is because you feel like you haven't done enough. You literally feel like you haven't put enough time into it. You haven't done enough. Yeah, right. So wherever we go with our thinking, it's all the same. We go back to that one vibe. And I just want to say to everyone out there, like, just know that's one of the characteristics that is true for all of us, along with time speeding up, which means that those two frequencies are hardwired into who we are and why we came here for some reason. And you know, I was reminded today that, like, just our very fucking goddamn presence is enough at this moment. Like, literally, the fact that our consciousness has woken up and we're adding our light to God's pathway there, and we are very aware of what's going on, and we are all like moving in that, just our very existence is actually enough. Everything else we do, whether Campbell and I ever do another podcast, we do fucking 5,000 of them. Like, everything we do is enough for just our very presence. That's all like our own little human beings wanting to create an experience and see what it is and create an experience. But what I'm saying, Campbell, is our output is not the equation that we should be gauging this by.
Yeah.
Because it is just our very existence as ones that have awoken and are leading the way of this whole unraveling. Is enough, is just beyond enough. It's beyond enough. But, you know, how can you convince your egoic mind, your logical mind? How do we convince? Because we have come from a very logical paradigm. Yeah, right?
It's
this whole realm, all logical, masculine logical, like time, structure, good, bad, you know, succeed or fail, all logical brain. But the Tartaria stuff is asking us, and we've brought this in with the Crystal City, to move into our feminine, our creator, our intuitive, our imagination again. And it's really hard because, but here's the catch. Just because this game is not fucking easy, and it's only for masters of the universe people, and I mean that on a flat realm. It's for fucking masters, right?
Yeah.
And here's the catch, the key, the shit bit. You have to make money. That's the catch, right? Like, not only are we enslaved by time, we're enslaved by this financial need to have an exchange so we can do things. Now, even if you get off the grid and you're totally sovereign, you're living off you still need money you need money to get off the grid, you know, like
exactly.
So, and then to make money, one is essentially working in this 3D realm, which is essentially contradictory to the imaginative realm of Tartaria. So most of us do this amazing work on the side.
Yeah. And that's the problem, right? Yeah, I know. I think this is, you know, businesses, you know, I think everyone losing their job, it's, again, we can look at that as a gift, right? Everyone's got all these ideas, all these plans, all these things that they've always wanted to be and know they should be, you know, so we can actually start businesses and do it the other way, right? We can sell our stuff back to the system or exchange it for you know, whatever we want from them, rather, you know, and do it that way, infiltrate. Because this is what we need to do, is look at different ways of doing things, you know, because ultimately, if we end up, you know, supplying everything we need, then the system, you know, the system's just whatever. It's just those big ugly cities, if it's still there at all. So yeah, it's a new way of thinking. There's so many possibilities, right? I think.
I mean, like,
you haven't done enough.
Ultimately, setting up a business right now, when we all feel like we have no time and we're speeding up and we're still consciously unprogramming ourselves and constantly striving to put all this information into our beings and integrate it. Like, it's, you know, starting a new business is an exhausting concept when you're not feeling, because what's the end result of all this is depletion. Like, it's an actual depletion of one's energetic field. And I think we're all right now, like, fucking go our audience, but we're all depleted, and it's a tricky thing. And I think the answer that I would give that, that, like, you know, we still are like making out what that even looks like, but the answer I would give that immediately is community, and not just a community behind a screen. Like, we actually have to make the solid move now to go and either join or form or be close to an actual real living, real humans, real conversation community. And that's not to downgrade our amazing work online, but there's something about that exchange of frequency in physical form that is really rejuvenating.
Yeah, and it's empowering as well. And ultimately, that's where we're headed. I mean, where's this all going to end up, right? You know, unless, you know, the spaceships come and take us away, then if we're down here, then we're going to need our own communities where everyone, you know, and communities like they used to be, where everyone puts in, but no one has to do not even a 40-hour week, because, you know, if everyone puts in, you know, 2-3 hours a day, that's well enough to run a community. And as far as businesses, it should be like just what you're good at. You know, if you're an artist, then do art. If you're a cook, you know, then make food. If you're a musician, then you do that. You know, if you're a woodworker, you make, but you don't treat it as a job. You just do it because you enjoy it, and that becomes the industry. So, because it's not money based, that's the thing. Once you've got your accommodation, your food, your power sorted, then you don't need a money-based economy, do you? It's just all on what enhances my life, which is clearly what we see in Tartaria. You know, that wasn't about money, was it? They weren't like, oh yeah, we've got a year to get this one up. Okay, we've got a budget. No, it was like, how do we make this as amazing as we possibly can? And that's what happens when there's no money and no structure, and people are allowed to be who they want to be. So that's where we're going. And this is the thing, it's when you get people together and they're allowed to talk and share ideas, things go fast. You know, like our societies are so held back, and we know every time someone comes up with a good idea, it's stolen, and the person, if they don't give it up, they get knocked off. It's So
Yep.
it's definitely it's definitely the way to go. And even look at it this way. I mean, if it seems scary, I mean, what do you think a city's going to be like if you stay? What are they going to be like in 2 years? I mean,
Mm.
you
No. Yeah. This is the time, guys. Like, I guess we'll like really, truly, like, we are needing to find each other. We're needing to really, I liked it when you said it should be a quest. And, we've put the Crystal City as a quest, which is, the complications with borders right now and fucking the fines for crossing a border. And then, police checking every caravan out. It's just like so annoyingly friction making. But what maybe it's because what's immediately actually in front of us all, in some level, is this quest for one's personal, like, rerouting themselves. Like that we're on a quest to find our homes right now, like our homes that are going to support the next 2 years. They're not have to be permanent because we don't know what's going to happen, but we need to be supported in nature. We need to be supported with resources. We need to be supported in a way that we're off the grid, that we can take control of our food and our water and our heating, and that those things are available. And like, if to me, like, we're on a quest to find our homes. And that very action of us en masse, like, there's hundreds of thousands of us on the quest in Australia, probably in Victoria alone right now, is actually those steps into sovereignty is the fucking new earth. It is bringing the new earth down right now. And like, that's where we're going to have our ascension moments. That's where we're going to break through to these portals and these amazing crystal cities and these amazing things that we're dreaming up. It's going to be when we have moved back to our home in nature. And I really feel that strongly. I know, we're not all the same, but I think it's a characteristic that is absolutely fundamental for these times that are here and now, and our brains perceive as the future timeline. So, hey man, I just thought we'd put that up and just like share those points of view. We did, and just like put it out there for our crew, because I'm sure everyone can relate, and I'm sure we need to have these sorts of conversations.
Yeah, and we're definitely going to keep on it, and we might hopefully get some people on to talk about law, and if you get land, how you set it up, because we're still going to have to deal with councils and all this kind of crap. And so anyone who does have information, and who's got a lot of, who's done this or whatever, let us know. We'll get you on, because
step forward.
Like we said, we're a community, right? We've all got to work this out together. We've got to form groups, get land in different areas, and as a network, we'll we can sort out any problems. We've just got to. The time is now. I think we've got to. I think we're all feeling it. We've got to start because especially in Australia, it's all starting to clamp down. Even in Queensland, and even over here in WA, where it was pretty free, they can see it's starting to come in. So
your borders have been shut till February.
Yeah, apparently that's what they reckon. So,
and if I cross the border in Victoria, it's a $10,000 fine for every passenger in the car. It's pretty harsh. And Queensland's just gone hardcore with locking out the vaccinated from everything, which is good, guys, because you don't want to be in any of those venues or events and dinners. You don't want to be in that place. They're fucking around with the frequency. That Travis Scott concert that just happened.
Oh
Did you guys hear about this? It's like a pop artist in America. It was like a total satanic ritual, and they actually like basically used a frequency on the vaccinated audience, and everyone started dying and combusting and shitting and going into seizures and like hardcore. It's literally, the news said 10 people are dead, but like the reports that I keep getting is it's been like 300 bodies. And it was an experiment on frequency and the vax. Anyway, that's off topic. The point of that, freak anyone out. It was truly fucking shocking. But I mean, I think you said something really beautiful there, which is like, we have to put together, we are the way showers, and we have to put together things that are going to help us, like those that are coming behind us who aren't ready yet to take, like, feeling that they can just move, like So if you are a real estate agent, or if you've ever set up an intentional community, I haven't done that, but I've done something similar. If you've ever engaged earth building or living off the land or sustainability, or you yourself are that, if you are no sovereign law, no law of the land, like anything that's going to assist people, us, our crew, to transition as effortlessly as possible. There's so many unknown questions. So if you're out there and you want to come on board to a little talk with Cambell and I about sovereignty and how organic consciousness is going to transition through this very intense ascension event. It's so intense. Like it's a swan song. It's a friggin' grand finale. I tell you, this chapter, isn't it?
Yeah, it's getting crazier and crazier. It's
yeah.
It's just like, oh my God. But I mean, this is the thing, like if it's starting to show itself now. And like when you mentioned Queensland, like that they're locking us all out of everywhere, but that's just, again, going to expose them more, because guess what's going to happen? They're going to keep getting breakouts and bigger breakouts, and they're not going to be able to point the finger at us. It's, but that as well, that could spawn, we've seen, that the whole Karen and Darren sort of epidemic that's going on. So that's another reason to think about, do you want to be living amongst these people when the crap hits the fan? Because they might point the finger at you, which they've been doing since for 2 years. So we've really got to take the reins, take some courage, trust, right? Courage, trust that that you're right, that what you feel is correct, and that you're protected, you're safe, it'll work out. Because we're making the right decisions, right? We're living by ethics. We're doing what they won't do. We're not taking the easy road, that's for sure, are we?
Yeah, we're not. And look, and not to feel guilty, you've got to be really clear on the fact that there's 2 timelines at operation now, and you've chosen your pathway, and now you've got to selfishly get yourself home.
Yeah.
And that means letting friends and family down. That means separating yourself from family members who actually care very deeply that your presence is there, and are very sad about the idea of you leaving. And we just there's so many emotional processes I know I'm in, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to. And look, Cambell, we haven't even fucking discussed, and we're about to wrap this up. We're trying to get what are we up?
Don't want it to be too long.
It's out. Yeah. We're trying to get this out really quickly. But I just want to say, anyone out there who has not seen the new Warrenon episode 13 or episode 1 of series 2, it's out there, and basically, in summary, it's all about genetic modification, which is where we're at with the vax, but it alludes to the idea that the giant trees are actually the Nephilim, and that the angels cut them down before the Great Flood, so that the fallen ones couldn't escape up their boughs, couldn't ascend up through the giant trees. It was fucking awesome. New little and deep dive on that one.
Yeah, we are going to do a deep dive on that one. So go and check it out, and it just shows you that we're replaying history. We've done this before, Yep. I think we're in a time loop, guys. So let's get it done this time, and just yank our little time bubble away, and we'll start the new earth. And if people want to stay here, like I said at the start, freedom, is not always easy. And just got to understand that they may want you to have the jab just as much as you don't want them to have the jab. So, love them, trust them, but let them walk their path, and we've got to walk ours. In the end, this is just a tiny snippet of who we are. It's not like you're not going to see them again in the big picture. So, but we do have to be brave, and go and do what needs to be done.
We do. I echo that sentiment completely, Cambell. I think it's a really nice place to wrap this one up. So thank you, everyone, for our little thoughts during the week.
Yes.
Hope they relate to you. We are going to try to do this weekly.
We will. Yeah, we're going to try and do a short one, sort of half an hour every week. But there'll also probably be a couple of 2, 3, 4, 5 hour ones as well. Who knows? But yes, we will be back.
I mean, we didn't even get through Yeah, I know. All right. Well, we
Yeah.
love you guys, and thanks for tuning in. And just know that we're all in this together. We're all in this fucking together.
We are. And together we'll get through it. All right. Have an awesome day and we'll see you soon.